And good morning, everybody. My name's Dave Lynch. I'm the city manager here in the city of Newton Falls, Ohio. Welcome to our morning briefing regarding the coronavirus activity here around Newton Falls. The governor, of course, has these pressers at least a couple of days a week at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In addition to that, the president and his task force members are still talking publicly about what some of our directives ought to be and what we ought to be very careful of, so please pay attention to those. But we want to make sure that we are informative of the people in our own locale as to things that are going on. Sometimes we talk and see how businesses are doing, residents are doing, projects that are going on during the COVID-19 activity. And for the most part, this broadcast is another way for us to be united and come together, at least in terms of some of the information that we have. And we do these Monday through Saturday, and we appreciate your being part of our audience. Well, we've seen a lot of exciting things happen in a few days as things are beginning to open up. And one of the things that we saw over the last few days, of course, was the unique, special, and memorable way that the graduation ceremony happened for the graduates of the 2020 graduation class from Newton Falls High School. The graduation, in essence, was held over at the Skyway Drive-In, and it was outstanding. And we have great video of that, which has now been completed in terms of its editing. So a lot of people want to see that, and here's the detail. It will be coming out on the NFHS, Newton Falls High School Facebook page, premiering at 10 a.m. with the Scholarship Awards. The Scholarship Awards, the Scholarship Awards are coming out at 10 o'clock this morning. And then at 7 o'clock tonight, there are the, I'm getting directions in the studio here, folks. At 7 o'clock tonight, you'll be getting the premiere of the graduation itself. So that is the scoop. 7 o'clock, you can see the graduation itself tonight on the high school Facebook page, on the City of Newton Falls Facebook page, also on YouTube. And then tomorrow, we will be featuring both the Scholarship Awards and the graduation itself on Spectrum channels 1023. And of course, you can always go back to our Facebook page, the high school's Facebook page. And also, you can look at our YouTube channel where all these things are archived. So this morning at 10 o'clock, the premiere of the Scholarship Awards on the Newton Falls High School page. And in addition to that, later on tonight at 7 o'clock, the premiere of the Newton Falls High School graduation. Very unique. And we've even had some comments of people that were there saying this was better than any other kind of high school graduation ceremony. And that's a real tribute to the high school and also to Gregory Films, who's worked so hard in the editing, the filming, all the technical activity. Gregory Films, the company that does these morning briefings for free, taxpayers. And by the way, it's almost every day, one time at least, somebody says on Facebook or somewhere else, why is the city wasting money on the morning briefing that Mr. Lynch does? And the answer is, we are not. They are free because of Gregory Films. Thanks, Tom Gregory, and the outstanding videography group over at Gregory Films. Well, we had something else happen that was pretty exciting. And what it was yesterday, we had the opening of our first community garden. That is the only one that we've had in many years. And now we have one. I'm so excited to say. It's at 74 Trumbull Court. And yesterday we commemorated the opening of a brand new community garden at 74 Trumbull Court. And the residents in that neighborhood are very excited. And we dedicated that in the ceremony yesterday afternoon to American Legion Post number 236. American Legion Post number 236. And as we open up other community gardens, we'll dedicate them to other veterans groups around town. And it makes sense because, you know, the original community gardens were sometimes called victory gardens. They're dedicated towards the war effort. And let's face it, those who give their lives, dedicate their time and their careers to our military are protecting our freedoms. In particular, I want to say thank you to the moving force to get this community garden going, and that's City Councilman from Ward 3, Lyle Waddell. He contacted me a few weeks ago. A lot of details had to be worked out, and not only did he become the moving force, but he went out there and did the tilling of the soil, and it was a lot of work. In fact, he had to do it 3 times in order to put it in the beautiful condition, ready to receive seeds and saplings that he did there. And that's the Ward 3 Councilman, Lyle Waddell. And it was great that he did that. And by the way, before we get to some video of the commemoration yesterday, I want to point out that Lyle also made the flower boxes or wooden boxes for those people that can't get down on their knees that will be featured in the video. And interestingly enough, when we have just a small picture of this, he also created some large flower boxes and donated one of them over to Country Club Rehab Center right there on Milton Boulevard. And you can see him in the middle of that picture right there where he created that flower box. And he is just a workaholic. And we appreciate what he did over there in terms of the commemoration and creation of this new community garden. So, well, let's take a real quick look at the video that we have from the commemoration yesterday of American Legion Post 236 Community Garden. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Dave Lynch. I'm the city manager. I'll be serving as the master of ceremonies. And as we get started here, as is most sensible to do, let's begin by calling on our Lord to
I'm limited on space right now, so I thought this would be a good evolution, and he is 100% correct. I think the younger generation has a little bit to learn from the older generation on how our food is prepared and how we go about eating every day. And that's it. I'm looking forward to getting to know everyone.
Yeah, and that young lady that you saw speaking after I made the introductory remarks is someone by the name of Patrina Bishop. And we have some real good shots of the garden there. Those are tomato plants that are in those planter boxes there. Again, those are there for the convenience of those that can't get on their knees. There it is, the American Legion Post 236 commemoration sign, easy for me to say. And you can see those clods of soil have been broken up into much smaller sections, finer grains of dirt, so to speak, so that you can get your seeds in there. And some people are saying, great, we have a community garden, but how do we know, when can I come and plant? And where am I allowed to plant? And how much space do I have? And is somebody coordinating this so that we can make sure the planting happens in an organized way that works out for everybody? And the answer is yes. Why? Because we have a volunteer from the neighborhood by the name of Patrina Bishop, and she was the young lady that was speaking during that video clip, and she's on our live line right now. Good morning, Patrina. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Hey, thanks so much for volunteering to coordinate the community garden. What made you say yes to volunteering to be the person that keeps this beautiful garden organized?
Well, I think now more than anything, I wanted a way to bond with my children and to bond with the community. I don't know that many people in the community, so I'm looking forward to learning more about it.
Yeah, and Patrina, you live relatively close to where this garden is located, so it gives you a chance to really keep an eye on it, doesn't it?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, go ahead, Patrina.
No, my stepdad was a farmer, so on the way home from church, we would drive by each different field. So I'm sure we'll be taking different walks around the community to kind of learn more about it and to also see how the plants are going.
So you have somewhat of a green thumb.
I'm working on it.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm going to tell people to email to reach you at. Tom, if you move your head, there it is. It is NFHOPE, the number 4, PLANTS@gmail.com. Folks, what it means is NFHope4plants@gmail.com. NFHope4plants@gmail.com. And 4 is the numeral 4 as opposed to FOR. And people can email you and get information, and you'll keep all that soil organized, won't you, Patrina?
I will try my very best, absolutely.
Yeah, it is great. And we appreciate the fine words you said yesterday as well, and I know that the entire community over there appreciates you putting in all that time and effort. We wish you the best of luck. You know, you can call City Hall if there are any resources you need to help as people come forward and start planting their gardens.
Okay, great.
That's great. All right. Well, you have a great day and good health to you and your family, Patrina. Thank you.
You too, sir. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Patrina, a bishop who has asked for a chance to, or has volunteered to come forward and keep that thing organized. And you know, folks, that's not an easy thing to do. And one of the reasons for that is that as you have a community garden, you frequently have competition for space, and somebody's got to coordinate it and regulate it. We don't want to have the Del Monte Corporation planting all their beans there and then taking them off the market. It really is for the community. And, you know, the appetite for these community gardens is significant, especially in this time with the COVID-19. It's a wonderful release, and it projects a great feeling of hope to be planting seeds and then harvesting vegetables or growing flowers. And we've had other people come forward in the community as well. Just a couple days ago, I got an email from a man named William Smith, and he would like to do one of these gardens as well. And I've invited him to come to my office and work out the details, just as we had with Councilman Waddell. And I invite any others in the community that want to establish a community garden. We have some locations for it, so let's get as many going as we can support. And of course, the important word is support. When you do a community garden, folks have to utilize it. We'll keep a close eye on it, but thanks to Councilman Waddell and Patrina Bishop for the first one, which is the American Legion dedicated Post 236 community garden. Well, right now we are going to go on our live line to a fine individual who's going to tell us more about the businesses going on in Newton Falls. And this is related to a company we have on First Street called Direct International. Yes, is this Danny White?
Yes, it is.
Danny White, Dave Lynch from Newton Falls. You are live on our morning briefing. And we're all so excited about the fact that this monstrous building that used to be the location of Rockwell is being utilized in a phenomenal way by your outstanding company called Direct International. Danny, how are you guys coping during the COVID virus activity?
Oh, well, Direct International is coping just fine. It's our customers that are having the problem.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so what are you doing to help your customers during the tough time?
Well, there's not much we can do. If they're closed or they're just opening, the customers have to be able to go into their stores to be able to buy our product.
Sure.
So we wholesale to retail stores.
Oh
but
boy.
Not a Walmart. So most of our stores that we sell to are private owned, smaller stores across the whole United States. So some states are good, some states are tough.
Yeah. Well, things are beginning to loosen up a little bit. Is that expanding your opportunity to get these things to different retailers, Danny?
Typically this month and last month is our slowest 2 months for shipping out. You know, we're very seasonal. So in the beginning of the year, we ship out all of our lawn and garden, and then people kind of sell through that and reorder a little bit and do some every day. And then then they wait until their fall time picks up. The biggest hit is taking is we have a huge customer base that is set up in outdoor markets, fairs, festivals, state fairs, Apple Fests. All that has been canceled across many, many states for the whole rest of the year. So that customer base, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, Danny, to clarify things for folks, they understand, because not everybody in town necessarily understands what Direct International does. So let's rewind a little bit. Tell us, what does Direct International do?
Okay, first off, let me start off. We're not open to the public. So we are a wholesale company only. We service to retail stores, anywhere from people who set up at flea markets such as Rogers up to larger chain stores such as Gabe's or Mark's. And our main customer base are private, individually owned stores. We sell country home decor. stuff that you would decorate the inside or the outside of your house, live, love, laugh signs, big metal pumpkins you stick in your yard for fall time. And we have maybe, I don't know, maybe about 6,000 active customers across the whole United States. We have showrooms in Atlanta, Henderson, North Carolina, Chicago, and Newton Falls, Ohio, and we also do trade shows across the United States, such as in Las Vegas and other locations, Dallas. We primarily import. We carry a big inventory inside this great big old steel mill. It's 100 years old. So it's just full of brown boxes. There's nothing to see in here. It's just pallets full of boxes. We mostly ship out by the pallet, very little UPS. And we've been in business a little over 20 years.
Well, Danny, it's I've actually been, I know you're not open to the public, but you've very kindly given me an inside view of your display showroom. And the things you have are just charming. You know, every time I go through there, I want to say, I want one of those and one of those and two of those and three of those. My wife would like 5 of those and on and on and on. Because when it comes to giving gifts, you know, you want something that's going to charm the gift receiver, and those are the kind of things that you're distributing.
Correct. Yep. Our stuff's point of sale. So most people who buy our stuff, they want to see it first. You don't really realize you need a sign to put in your laundry room until you're in the store and you see it on the wall there, and then you're like, oh, that would look very nice in my laundry room. So internet sales is very small for us. Most of our stuff goes onto the shelf and has to be in front of people. So if the public cannot get out in front of our product and our customers, then, you know, no, you can't buy it. But we're good. Direct International is fine. We have been through a lot of struggles over 20 years, and this is just another one. And if anything, it's made our company and the owners here and the managers much smarter, how to be more efficient and control things better. It gave us a lot of time to get some work done on the inside of the building that needed done, and get our inventory straightened up to be perfect, and just like that. So there's always good results out of bad things if you can manage to look that direction.
Yeah, one of the pieces, display pieces you have has a little logo on it. It says, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And
That's
boy,
right.
I got one of those, and I think it should be in every home in America, don't you think, Danny?
Yes, that's very true. Yeah.
I also want to say thank you to you. You have allowed us to use the sidewalls along First Street of your property to do some things that are called gobo displays. It's merely a projected image, and we've been able to do that during the various holidays and project images of inspiration on behalf of the city of Newton Falls. And we've been able to do that because you've so kindly given us permission to do so. So on behalf of the community, thank you for that too, Danny. Really appreciate it.
And I want to thank Newton Falls. We came here maybe 15 years ago or so now, and everybody at the city level and the general public and the restaurants, everybody at Newton Falls has been very kind to Direct International over all these years. So we're very happy to be here.
Well, we love having you, and it's interesting, Danny. You're talking about the nature of the fact that you essentially have a wholesale distribution center. And every now and then somebody says to me, well, gee, wouldn't it be nice if we had an Amazon distribution center or something of that nature? And I stop them right away. I says, hey, listen, folks, we already have a gigantic distribution center in Newton Falls, and that's the company run by Danny White called Direct International. You know, you've really grown into a phenomena.
Yeah. We move about maybe 9,000 to 10,000 pallets of merchandise in and out of this building every year.
Lord up in heaven. 9,000 pallets a year. What does that work out in terms of individual pieces? I imagine it's close to 1 million.
Oh, millions. Yeah, millions. Yeah, I don't really look at the
No?
the
Okay.
pieces. It's all one. To me, it's all one great big box. So,
Yeah, really? Aren't enough zeros
Yeah,
on the
pieces.
aren't enough zeros on the calculator for that, are there, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, there's some items we go through over 100,000 of one item in 1 year. So
Okay. And if folks want to get a hold of you, Danny, the number that I have is 872. I'm looking on the screen. It says 1238. Is it not 1138? What is the number?
yeah, 1138.
1138.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have many lines here, so I called you from a line that is
Okay.
line.
All right. So,
Yep.
so if you see on the screen 1238, really it's 1138.
Right. Our
And
main direct phone number is 330-872-1138.
okay. All right. Well, folks, dial up Danny if that's the case. But the point is that it's a wholesale distribution. But if you want to become a distributor, I want to establish a relationship with Danny's company, 872-1138. And folks, you won't regret it because he has items that I've not seen anywhere else. And where is that? Right here in Newton Falls. Danny, peace to you, congratulations, and further success to you and good health to your family.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, that is Danny White from Direct International. You know, every time I think of Danny White, I think of the guy that was the quarterback for the Cowboys about 30 years ago. And that's how old I am, folks. In fact, I think I was old when the Cowboys were playing 30 years ago. But in any case, it's great to see that somebody is coping with the COVID-19. Obviously, some of his companies that are his buyers are shut down during the lack of having these festivals and outdoor activities, but he is getting things done just the same. Well, that brings us to the conclusion of another Newton Falls COVID-19 update. Congratulations to Patrina Bishop and Lyle Waddell over at Ward 3 for the opening of the 74 Trumbull Court. American Legion Post 236 Community Garden. Don't forget tonight the premiere of the graduation ceremony of Newton Falls High School right on the Newton Falls High School Facebook page, the city's Facebook page, on YouTube, and tomorrow all day long on Spectrum Channel 1023, and this morning at 10 o'clock on the Newton Falls High School page, Facebook page, you'll be able to see the awards ceremony. And that's kind of important too, because we have some very high achieving graduates here in Newton Falls. Well, folks, stay close to our Heavenly Father. Keep those prayers going. He is listening. Wear those masks when you're out and about so that the molecules from your nose and mouth don't go into my nose and mouth. And finally, as I always say, God bless America and God bless the city of Newton Falls.